Your client says, give me the price. You know it's too early in the sales process for you to just blurt out a number. What do? We're going to answer this question and give you the exact script you can use to handle this on this episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Hi, it's Dave Lorenzo, and today we discuss one of my favorite things. The client is asking you, they're pressing you, they're stomping their feet. They want you to give them a price, but it's too early. You haven't shown them enough value yet, and you're worried that if you give them the price, the whole deal's gonna blow up in your face. So what do? Gonna answer that for you today, give you some exact verbiage, give you the script you can use to handle this exact issue when it comes up with you and your client. Before I do that, I want to make sure that if you like this video, you give me a thumbs up. And after you do that, you leave a comment down below. Tell me what you want to hear more of. We do these videos every day, and I want to make videos that are helpful to you. So leave some comments down below. Tell me what you want to see more of here on the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Also, be sure and subscribe. There's a subscribe button down there. Ring the bell up at the top. The bell, make sure you get notifications every time we upload a new video. You never know. The idea I talk about tomorrow could be the idea that changes everything for you. All right, so client asks you, just give me the price. Come on, please, just give me the price. What do? What do you say? First thing you can do, first thing you can say, I'll give it to you right now. Here's the script. You say, okay, sure, absolutely. We usually deliver about a 10 to 15 times return on investment. So basically, if you invested $1 million in my product or my service, we would probably look at a return on investment of, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 million, but that's just a rough estimate. Usually it's more. How does that sound? What I did there is I focused on two things. I focused on return on investment, and I threw out a huge number. You always want the customer or the client to hear a big number first. Even if the product or the service that you're selling only costs $10, I want you to throw out $1 million number. I want you to throw out the biggest number possible, because by comparison, psychologically, anything else they hear will seem less than that, and you'll seem like you're giving them a better deal. The second thing is return on investment. So if your product has a direct return on investment, or your service has a direct return on investment, they can get money back from working with you. Tell them what that number is based on a multiple of whatever they could invest. If you save them time, you save them effort, you save them work, figure out in your mind what the dollar amount you could save them is, and then give them a multiple of that as a return on investment. What you're doing is you're shifting the conversation immediately from dollar spent to return on investment, and you're also throwing out a big number. And when you throw out a big number, the comparison effect is such that they will always feel better about the actual number than the big number. Now, if you're worried that you're going to scare them off, you say, listen, I said $1 million, it's never going to cost $1 million, but I don't want you to worry about that because the return is phenomenal. I was just using that as an example. We're focused on value here, Mr. Buyer. That's the key. The key is focusing on value. Script number 2. Again, the client says, give me the price. I want the price. Your answer? Absolutely. Since we only work with clients where we deliver value that exceeds the investment, I'm thrilled to give you the price. By the way, I want to make sure that you're one of those clients, so if you can give me just a ballpark figure for what you were planning on investing, I can tell you whether or not our value will exceed the investment. I won't hold you to it. What's the amount you were planning on investing in solving this problem? Now, what I did with that script is, number one, I said yes. When somebody says, give me the price, always agree. Always say, sure, absolutely, definitely. I want to give you the price. I will give you the price. Always agree. The second thing, I turned it around and I said to them, we only work with clients when the value exceeds the investment. That puts them on their heels. And they say, well, if this guy's going to work with me, the value is definitely going to exceed what we pay. That's good. And then the third thing I did there was I said, I want to make sure that we can work together. Give me the ballpark figure as to what you were planning on investing. That's when they're going to tell you what their budget is. I won't hold you to it. Just give me a ballpark figure. Now, listen. 9 times out of 10, or maybe 8 times out of 10, the client is going to say, well, it depends. I'm not really sure. What I do then is I look at them, I go, $1 million? And they go, oh, no, it wasn't that much. And then I go, $10. No. Okay, so I know it's someplace between 10 and $1 million. And they look at me and they go, ha, you're funny. In reality, we end up getting to a budget number somehow that way so that we can figure out whether it makes sense to work together. And in this case, what I usually will do is I usually say, listen, let's just put our cards on the table. Do you have a budget for this? Just tell me, give me a ballpark range of what it is, and I can tell you if we could do something within that range, and then we'll both feel better about moving forward. When you say it like that, you seem like a real person, they get it, and it's very easy to move forward after that. Script number 3. The client says, just give me the price. I only want the price. Give me the price already. You say, sure, I'll give you the price. It seems like you're really concerned about the budget. And a lot of my other clients are concerned about the budget when we first get together too. Is that what's going on here? And they'll say, sure, I'm concerned about the budget. And you say, all right, well, tell me what your budget is. I want to make sure that we're in the ballpark, because if I throw out a number like $1 million and you fall out of your chair, that's not going to be good for anybody. Use the humor to kind of diffuse the situation. And again, you're being honest and transparent. You're saying, sure, I'll give you the price. Don't worry. Of course I'm going to give you the price. Sure. Here's the thing. Are you worried about your budget? Because a lot of my other clients were worried about the budget too, and they became clients anyway. So give me a number. I'll tell you if we can meet it. And he's going to go, oh, I'm not going to give you a number. And you say, well, it's $1 million. Oh, $1 million. No, it's not $1 million. Again, you're doing the same thing. Okay? Sure, I'll give you the price. I'll definitely tell you what the price is. And it seems like you're concerned about the budget. Is that true? A lot of my other clients were concerned about the budget in the beginning as well. You're putting him in with your other clients. You're making him feel good about it. And then you'll finally get to a number. This last script that I'm going to give you is kind of a last-ditch effort if you're in a position where you just got to reveal the price and the guy's being a jerk and he's not going to give you the number for their budget. Here's what you say. The client says, Dave, just give me the price. I don't want to play any games. I want to know how much it's going to cost. And candidly, if you don't tell me how much it's going to cost, there's nothing we can do here. I'm not going to tell you what my budget is. Now, look, you and I know if the guy's not going to give you his budget, it is what it is. So here's what I say in those circumstances, and this is what you should say. Sure, Joe, I get it. You don't want to reveal your budget number. You want to be a good negotiator. I understand. And a lot of my other clients, the relationship started out this way. What I can tell you is what my service is going to cost, I guarantee it's more than you want to pay right now, because I haven't demonstrated enough value to you yet. But I'm sure once I show you the value I can provide and the return on investment, my typical clients get between 10 and 20 times return on investment in working with me for my services. I'm sure if I demonstrate a return on investment, you'll feel better, but I'm going to give you a number and it's going to be more than you want to pay. Are you ready? And the guy's going to brace himself. He's going to expect a huge number. And then you give him a number within a range that's on the high side, and you gauge his reaction. That's the last-ditch effort. If you don't think you're going to be able to get a budget out of him, and he's really pressing you, it's more than you want to pay, because I haven't demonstrated the value I could provide to you yet. So I'm going to give you a number, but I need you to brace yourself, because it's going to be high. You lay the groundwork, and then you give him the number that's on the high side of the range, and you see what he says. A lot of times he'll go, that's not that bad. Or he'll go, okay, and you keep talking. Sometimes they'll fall out of their chair, and then you know it's too much, and it's probably not going to go anywhere unless you have a lower end solution for them. That's how you handle it when a client says, just give me the price. Give me the price. I want the price already. Ideally, we'd get a budget first, and you'd make sure that they fit in your price range before you ever go to the meeting. But I get it. Sometimes you're going to get this specific objection from your client, and that's how you handle it. I want to make sure you come back every day, so please leave me some comments as to what you thought of this video and what you want to hear from future videos. Remember, we do a video every stinking day, so I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Dave Lorenzo, and I hope you do this and sell more.